There's like a stand thing now. And it's got, I don't know, it's kind of crooked. It's fine. Boop, boop. Maybe I can like prop it. Obviously I did not think about this ahead of time. It's fine. We're going to let it be crooked. Shoosh. Shoosh, shoosh, shoosh. I need to flip my calendar over here in my office. Alright. That's how I know what day it is. April 2nd. April 2nd happens to be a Thursday. Alright. So hopefully, like, putting my phone in this little stand thing, like, it won't be so jiggly, because I talk with my hands and all that fun things. So, it is Thursday. It is April 2nd, 2020. And, yeah, so we're here for today's recovery check-in with all of y'all. And I have a couple announcements. So one, I just want to remind you that there are some online support groups meeting. So there's Cocaine Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Smart Recovery are all meeting online. We have an open recovery meeting at 4 o'clock every day. So Smart meets on Wednesdays. Narcotics Anonymous, the lifeboat meeting, meets on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So if you want some support tonight, their meeting starts at 7. And then Cocaine Anonymous meets on Sundays at 5:30. So those meetings are all online, as well as the National Alliance on Mental Illness has some support meetings for you online as well. And those are kind of scattered throughout the day, the month. Kind of some of them are a couple times a month and that kind of thing. But we'll make sure that we include that information in the comments, that if you're interested in joining one of their support groups, all you got to do is just send them an email. They're super wicked nice people, so you just send them an email, say, hey, I would like to join the meeting, and they'll send you a link, and that way you can join. So all of that information, though, and even more, is also available on hancockhelps.org, so we are updating that every single day. And as updates from like the health department or the city of Findlay or the county or the state come through, we put those up there on Hancock Helps as well, so that way you have kind of some good access to information there. So I don't want you to forget about that. Take advantage of it. It's there for y'all to use. So, all right. So today's recovery check-in, I'm going to talk about patience. Patience and impatience and all of those kinds of things. You know, as a recovery community, and I will honestly say, like, so as a person in recovery myself, like, when I want things, I want them now. You know, that's just, I don't know, that's kind of just how things roll. Like, you know, we want it now, we want all of it, you know, including, you know, sometimes we want this stay-at-home order, we want it to end, and we want it to end now. We want this public health emergency to be over, and to be over now, so we can kind of resume our typical lives as we were kind of living them. You know, but the only way that we're gonna get through this is time. Like, time takes time. And that kind of sucks. Because it requires us to develop kind of a different perspective and a different skill set and kind of just a different way of looking at things. And that can require some patience. Patience is a skill. You know, you might have heard patience is a virtue. And I don't know, when I kind of hear people say patience is a virtue, like, to me, like, that strikes me as, well, it's either something you got or you don't. And it doesn't really work like that, you know? So, like, yeah, there are some people that maybe innately, because of their, you know, personality or upbringing or whatever, can have the ability to be more patient than others. However, any single person can cultivate patience. It is a skill that you can learn and develop and practice and grow. It's not like a just check the box kind of thing. So, you know, patience in and of itself is that endurance. It's that perseverance during a difficult time. I forgot to silence my notifications. I should do that. Okay, there we go. You know what else? Forgot our gratitude moment. I won't get that at the end though. Okay, so patience, endurance, perseverance during difficulty. You know, it doesn't mean that, you know, you're kind of like all super zen about stuff all the time. But it does mean that you're having that self-awareness. You're having that ability to identify that feeling and practice kind of that acceptance with love. You know, patience, I view it in my life as an extension of loving kindness, an extension of love and acceptance of myself, of others, of a situation, of a whatever. You know, so there's the patience, there's the patience that you have with yourself. You know, maybe you're not responding in a way that you wanted to. Maybe you raise your voice at your children and you're like, oh, didn't intend to do that. You know, maybe you're being really short and snappy with a friend or a support or a family member or whatnot. You know, and so there's that patience that comes with yourself. So it's that extending that grace and that loving kindness to yourself, being patient with yourself and your kind of growth process and your change process, you know, and your developing of patience. And in a broader sense, there's also like patience with hardship, with difficult times, with tough times, like the ones that we're in. You know, this situation publicly, it's not going to resolve itself overnight. As much as we would love it to, it's not. It's going to take some time. And it's going to take us to have some ability to persevere, to endure, to persist in our resilience throughout this time. And then there's also patience with like that daily stress, you know, whether it's, you know, you're waiting for your computer to load so you can get onto a work meeting and all it's doing is that spinny circle of doom. You know, there's patience when you're waiting in line for something, patience with, you know, grocery stores and the workers there and getting things restocked. You know, patience with some of what we maybe thought of before kind of as those daily hassles. You know, patience with your Wi-Fi. I tell you what, like, I'm a pretty patient person, but there is nothing like technology to make that like fly out the flipping window. You know, so having that patience with those daily tasks that sometimes take longer than we want to. You know, so that patience, having that ability to persevere, having that ability to extend that loving acceptance really helps to counteract that stress, helps counteract anxiety and frustration, you know, because it can help you kind of reframe a situation, you know. You know, the cash register didn't break just to make your grocery store trip longer. I don't think you got that kind of power in the universe. You know, there wasn't an accident on your way home just to make your commute or your trip home from the grocery store or whatnot longer. Those are situations that are beyond your control that can require extending some of that loving acceptance too. You know, because when you're able to extend that, it takes the sting out of it. It takes that edge, that edge off of it, you know. And something that helps me be patient is that I tell myself to slow down, you know, because I find myself most often being impatient or frustrated when I'm trying to do things quickly. You know, whether it's that I want to be really quick at the gas station getting fuel so I can get in and get out and get on with my day, or maybe I'm running a little bit behind and so I'm trying to rush through whatever. And when I try to rush through whatever, I usually end up screwing up, one, making some kind of mistake, whether that's spilling my coffee all over myself or, pulling up to the pump that, the fuel pump that has the little bag over it because it's out of order and I didn't see it because I wasn't looking when I pulled up or whatnot. That's when those moments of impatience and when I'm trying to do things quickly, then that just kind of escalates into frustration and then into anxiety, and then it's just like down the rabbit hole we go. But when I'm able to like back that train up, stop, extend that loving acceptance, I remind myself that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That when I approach something slowly and calmly with a whole brain, like the whole brain on function, then I can do something in a smooth way. When I do it smoothly, it happens quickly. And I find that has applied in life, whether it is a gas station transaction or whether it is at the grocery store or changing my kid's diaper or waiting for something to come or trying to have patience for a hard time or a period of hardship to end. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So anything that I can do to slow down, be more appreciative, be more accepting, be more present in the moment, and be more patient, the smoother that things will go, both for myself, maybe physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the smoother that will be. And the smoother that it goes, the more quickly it goes as well. I've just found that to be true over and over and over and over again. And so, I've kind of talked, about how like patience is also like part of patience is action. It's that action while you're allowing the process to happen. Some people maybe confuse patience with passivity or just kind of like letting things happen too. But it's not so much. Like patience is like you're taking an active role in your life, in your recovery. It is taking that action while allowing the process to happen. So whether that action is you're choosing to engage in some online support group meetings right now, so that way you can continue that recovery process, your action of engaging in a community of recovery is allowing that process of recovery to happen and unfold in your life. The action of extending some loving acceptance to yourself and maybe to your partner or a friend while you're in a stressful situation is you taking action while allowing the process of that relationship or that friendship to develop and to grow and to be in a healthier spot. So it's action during the process. It doesn't mean that you're just sitting back and being like, yep, I'm like zen on a mountain and things are just flowing. Not so much that, it's being intentional, being mindful, identifying what those feelings are. When you find yourself struggling to be patient, like, what is it are you actually feeling? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling worn out? Like, what is the feeling behind that? Reframe it, and then move forward with intention. Move forward with purpose. So if you're identifying that, say you're at the grocery store, and you're at the auto checkout thing, and the buttons on the screen aren't working, and you're feeling really frustrated and you're feeling really impatient because you wanted to get in and out of the store as quickly as possible. Okay? And you could let your frustration mount, you could let that kind of rise, you could let that happen. Or you can reframe that and say, you know what, the cash register did not just break or decide to, be its goofy little self just to make my life harder. Okay? So I'm going to take a deep breath here. When I take a deep breath, I'm going to get my whole brain back online. And I can ask an attendant, say like, hey, can you help me check out? I can go to a different cash register. You can ask for help and you can move forward with intention, with purpose. You know, with your purpose is to get out of the store as quickly as possible. The way that that's going to happen is you're going to ask for help. You know, so that way that helps you to achieve your long-term goal. You know, so it's just identifying, reframing, moving forward with purpose. You know, keeping that end goal in mind of how you want to be and how you want to show up as a human being and what your goals are in life and how you want that to look, keeping that in mind and going for it. You know, patience will help you get there, because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And so I challenge y'all to develop that patience. And if patience is a hard word for you, maybe reframe it as loving acceptance or acceptance with love. Extend that to yourself. Extend that to other people. Extend that to this freaking weird ass time that we're in. And, you know, recognize and own that, like, right now, like, stuff is weird. Things are different. We're having to function different. There's days where we're kind of maybe on an emotional roller coaster of ups and downs and sideways and diagonals. Recognize that, own it, reframe it, and keep that end in mind of where you want to be and where you want to go with life, whether that is for tomorrow, for the next week, a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months, whatever those goals are for you. Move forward with that purpose, move forward with that intention. And so that's the challenge, I think, to embrace that patience, have that loving acceptance, and work on cultivating it as a skill. Remember, it's patience, it's not a box you check, it's a thing you can develop. It is a skill, it is developable. I don't know if that's a word. I'll look it up later. It probably is. Developable. I don't know. It sounds so weird. But anyways, cultivate that skill in your life. I can almost guarantee you that if you do, you will reap the benefits from that. And be able to counteract the anxiety, counteract that frustration, not only that you might feel right now while we're in this public health situation, but the skills that you develop right now can help carry you forward into building a freaking awesome, stellar, fantastic life on the other side of this. Because this, as we know, this is a moment. It might be a long moment, this public health situation, but it is a moment, and all moments have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so this moment too will end, and we will begin a new one, and things are going to look different, but we are going to come out a heck of a lot more resilient on the other side. So I believe that wholeheartedly, with everything that I am. So in the meantime, want you to just reach out for support, like connect with one another, you know, through phone, through, you know what, write a letter. When's the last time you wrote a letter to someone? You know, break out kind of some of those older ways of writing. It gives you a great opportunity to polish up your handwriting skills, perhaps, you know, and connect with other people just as human beings. There's a lot of healing and a lot of good that can happen that way. So in the meantime, though, reach out for support if you need it. If you need to, call someone. If you need to, you're welcome to call us. We're happy to talk to you. Call us, message our Facebook page, email us. We are here for you during these really weird times. So until tomorrow, when we'll do our next recovery check-in at noon, keep your hearts and minds resilient. And as always, if you need something or have suggestions of topics you would like us to talk about, leave us a comment, send us a message, and we'd love to hear from you. So until tomorrow, keep being stellar, awesome human beings. All right, we'll see ya.